Hello everyone, welcome back to Mr. Random Generator. In this video I will be showing you my 5 handy Python tips. Starting with our list, first we have array subtraction. So let's say we have array f which consists of elements 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4. And we have an array of seconds which consists of elements 6, 5 and 4. So if I want to get the difference between f and s, what I can do is, let's just print that out, the results. So what I can do is I can use sets and feed it with our first array, and sets, then feed it with our second array, and the result should give us the difference. So as you can see, 8 and 7 is our differing elements. This is really useful, but one thing to mention right here is that this object is the type is list, and this has a type of set, not the list. So the generic things with the general things that you do with array will not work on sets. So what I mean by that, let's say we just cut that and assign that to a variable. As you know, in arrays I can reverse their order by first writing the variable name of the array or list, if you prefer. Then I do this and I feed -1. What that does is reverses my list. So if I run that, we should see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you can see, it is reversed. However, if I feed my result into that, and if I try to run that, we should get an error. As you can see, we got an error because the type is not list. So what I can do is convert my object to list, and I can easily do that by following manner. Now it should work, and I should be getting 7 and 8. As you can see, now the list operations work on my result object. So since we covered that, we can move on to our second tip on our list, which is the combined greater than or less than signs. So imagine that we have a variable a with value of 10, b with value of, let's say, 8, and c with value of 6. In many programming languages, what you can do if you want to make a comparison is that you generally go with, let's say, if a is greater than b, and if I want to combine with another statement, I usually do, what we usually do is just create AND like that, but obviously AND has dedicated keyword in Python, so I can do this. But if I do that, it will work. We just run it. As you can see, it is working properly, but as you can see, it's underlining. So what that does is, see, it warns me that the chained it can be simplified into a chained comparison. What that means is that I can simplify statements in a mathematical manner, so they are basically much more understandable. So but one key thing to notice that is that if you introduce parentheses, the results will differ. So what I mean by that, let's say we run that, the outcome is true, but if I add parentheses right there, the outcome will be false. And why is that? And this is caused because let's do it in a step-by-step manner. The a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 8. So 10 is obviously greater than 8. As you can see, that will return the result of true. So true greater than C. So what our program understands that is you cannot compare true with 6. However, it can compare 1 with 6. So it treats true as 1 and compare that with 6. 1 is obviously not greater than 6. So it is returning false. So again, it is important to be careful with the parentheses. So after we have, just covered the basics, we can move on to the ternary operator, I think, which is my third tip. That enables you to basically write if statements in a single sentence, like sentence-based manner. So it has the following structure. First, you provide the true case. Let's say you have if the condition is true, then you do this. So you put that true case in front of your statement. Then you plug your if keyword. After that, you put your condition. Then you feed the else keyword and the false condition, false statement. So what I want to say is, let's demonstrate it right here. Let's assume that our my true condition is basically true string. So after that, I can add if keyword. Now, as you can see, this is our condition, and after that I can just say else, then my false keyword. And if I run that, we should be getting true. And let's say in our previous case, we just introduced our parentheses. So if we introduce them, we should be getting false. And obviously you can do much more complicated stuff with this thing, but again, this comes really useful, and also in a clearer way. So after we just covered that, I want to move our focus onto a bit more different stuff. So the stuff which I don't think it will work on our Python file, but it should work on Python console. So what that does is that if you type something, or if you basically execute a function or get some returned stuff, it will be cached on our console, and we can access that in next steps. So as you can see, I just typed in 6, and now I can access 6 using my cache. So, and I do that by using the underscore. If I, let's say, underscore and multiply with 8, I should be getting 48. Now 48 is cached. I can just underscore to access 48, and let's say I want to add 2 to it. There you go, we get 50. Now you get the idea. This is actually really useful stuff if you have repeated input sequences, or you just want to make some experimental things about your while you're debugging. This is actually a really useful thing for while debugging. So yeah, keep that in mind. And now we move on to our final tip in our list, which consists of don't using Janky Scopes. So what I mean by Janky Scopes, let's say we have variable x is equal to 10. Then we create a basic for loop, which is like this. And inside our for loop, we just have a basic if statement. If x is equal to 15, then print x. If you exit the loop, again print x. So just a quick question. If I run that program, what is the expected output? It looks really basic, but it is kind of confusing. What you normally expect is that first we enter our loop and we hit 15, then we print out 15 in our console, then we get out of the loop, x is equal to 10, and we print 10. 15, 10 should be the result, right? Wrong. We got 15 and 19. So how that works is Python actually looks up the variables in a way that if let's say we have x variable inside our Python and it says that, oh, I do have x variable predefined, so why don't I use it instead? So it goes ahead and use that. And also it's important to note that our loop is not going to start from 10. It starts from 0 and assigns 0 to x and then checks it and then iterates through the whole loop. And as you can see, actually I just created a quick print statement right there, and there, let's say x, and if I run that, as you can see, it iterates through the whole loop, and once it reaches the 19, it exits the loop, and again you get printed 15 right there, and the final x value will be the last value in our loop, which is 19. So hence we got 15 and 19. So that's basically it for this video. Hope you like it, and if that is the case, please make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing. See you next time. Take care.